everyone. Welcome back to Waiting Makes You Whole. My name is Daneska. For those of you that are brand new watching this channel, please subscribe. But I wanted to name this video Jehovah Jireh, which means the Lord is my provider, or in Hebrew it means the Lord will see ahead, the Lord will see to it, and He will make a way. So I really wanted to encourage people right now. Right now we're going through the whole corona, COVID-19. There are millions of people out there that do not have a job. And I just wanted to really encourage those people that have lost their jobs and wanted to tell you, I've been exactly where you are, where you don't know what's going to happen next or how you're going to make ends meet. But I want to tell you that there is a God in heaven that sees exactly what you're going through, and He can make a way for you. I just simply wanted to share a story that I went through when I was unemployed and then became employed, and then God made a way for me. So I was unemployed for about 6 months, and this was last year. I was unemployed for 6 months, and I started volunteering, and then I was working a part-time job. I was living off of my savings, but then it got to a point where I was like, oh, that's it. Like, you only got enough to get to pay the rest of these bills, but you need another part-time job because that's it. So I started working part-time for my church, and then I found another part-time job working for Crew. It's funny how those are the only 2 doors that opened for me, but I knew that it was a part of God's plan for me to be in full-time ministry. So I was working for both of them, and everything was going good, right? I have both they're both part-time, but it makes one full-time job, and I'm like, okay, good. I got enough to pay my bills. I'm going to be okay. The kids are going to be okay. Well, no. That's not what happened. One of the jobs started going through a slow season, and so they sit down with me and they're like, okay, we don't have a lot of work right now, so we're going to have to cut your hours and give you 10 hours a week. And I'm like, what? Like 10 hours a week? And I go right back to this mentality of being unemployed, and I'm just like, God, like I just came out of unemployment. And I right now don't even have enough to live off of what I have saved. Like I'm to the max of my savings, and I don't have enough to pay next month's bills. Like this is real. I'm a single mother with 2 children, and I'm in despair right now because I don't have enough. So I remember going home, and I was like, I'm gonna be fine. This is around like Thanksgiving and Christmas. I could find a seasonal job. I'm gonna be fine. Can I tell you that all the seasonal jobs were taken? Target, Walmart. I went to a supermarket. Like I didn't care where I was gonna work. I just needed a job, and nothing opened. And I just remember like getting on my knees and saying, God, I need your help. I do not have enough money. The kid's father is in jail right now. It's only me. I'm the only one making a way. But Lord, I know that I have you. I have you, and you can make a way for me. I don't know where this money is going to come, but in 2 weeks, Jesus, I need to pay these bills. I cried the whole day, and I remember my son that can't even tell when something's wrong with me because I don't know, I think it's a male thing that they can just never tell when something is wrong. He looked at me, he was like, Mom, you look like you sad and you mad. So I knew I was down and out if my son could tell something was wrong with me. So I just told him, I said, you know what, today we're going to pray because your mom needs God to make a way. I didn't tell him I didn't have enough money to pay the rest of the bills because I don't want that type of pressure on children. And that night I couldn't even pray. I let them pray, and they said, God, my mom needs another job. My mom needs another job. And they prayed for me. I just stood quiet. I went to the room, and I just bawled crying. And I was just like, God, please make a way for us. That same night, the Lord speaks to me. And I'm in a dream, and I'm out of nowhere, I'm in this house, and God just physically smile on my face all the time. I'm moving into a house, right? Which, God knows, I wasn't trying to look for no house at that time. But I'm in this house, and we move in, and the children are running all over the house, and they're like, oh, this house is so beautiful. Can I tell ya that I did not even look at the house? I was just so in awe because I felt a peace that surpasses all understanding when I walked into that house. I was like it was palpable. Like I can feel peace. I don't even know how to describe that in real life. But I was just like, it is so peaceful in here. I woke up in the middle of the night. Mind you, I cried myself to sleep that night because I didn't know, there was just no way for me to open a door for myself. I needed God to open a door for me. And I was just like, I woke up and I felt that same peace that I felt in the dream. And so Jehovah Jireh does not only mean provider for my physical needs, but he cares about the whole person. He cares about your mind, body, and spirit. So not only was he telling me, I'm going to provide for you, but I'm going to give you peace, because right now, that's above all things, you need peace. So I woke up and I was like, wow, this is beautiful, God. Can I put this in a bottle so I can always have it? I want to take a dose of this every day. And I go right back to sleep. So this is another thing that never happens with me. If I go back to sleep, I do not continue my dreams. That's it. If I go back to sleep, if I wake up in the middle of my dream, it just ends there. But no, this is how I knew it was God. I go right back into where I woke up, and I'm back in the house, and the kids are still running around, and this time I hear a knock on the door. And it's a friend of mine, but her name is Grace. Isn't that so symbolic? Why is a woman named Grace knocking on my door? So I open the door, and when I open the door, I see a lamb. Guys, I have never seen a lamb in real life, so how I saw this in a dream, only God knows. So I see a lamb at my door, tied from the neck to the door. And I open the door, and Grace walks in. And as soon as Grace and I both see the lamb, I said, the Lord is going to provide. I knew when I saw the lamb that he was going to provide. Don't ask me how, only God knows. So I knew that financially I was going to be okay. And not only was I okay financially, but now I also had peace. So it was another provision that he gave me. So Grace walks in, and she's like, oh, is this your house? And I'm like, yeah, can you believe that this is my house? And then she tells me, I paid for this house for you. I'm like, what? So not only do I have peace in this house, which I even told her, but do you feel the peace in the dream? And she said, yeah, I feel it. But I'm like, I can live here rent free. Are you telling me that I don't have to pay to live here? And then I asked her, I was like, so is it okay if I stay? Because I was like so confused. Like, you paid for this house for me, so this is really your house. And she said, no, I paid for this house for you, but you can live here. And I was just so in awe. And I woke up again. And that day, when I didn't tell you, I didn't shed another tear, because I was like, I want one full-time job. Like, I just had this assurance that I can ask God for what I need, and He will just give it to me. So I woke up, and I spoke to both jobs, and I was like, look, God spoke to me, and well, with one job, I told them, you know, I was really worried, and I couldn't sleep, and the Lord spoke to me in a dream, and I know that I'm gonna have one full-time job. Then I went to my other job, because I had two part-time jobs, right? But one of them was cutting my hours. And I went to the other job, and I was like, I know that God is just going to make a way for me. And we prayed, and I cried during the prayer because I'm emotional. And when we finished praying, he thought I was crying because I was down. But I was like, no, like, I know God is going to do something. Literally, an hour after I finished crying, I will never forget this day. It was on Halloween, October 31st. An hour after we prayed, I get a phone call from one of my jobs, and they tell me, do you want to come? Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I did ask one of my jobs for a full-time job, and he looked into the budget, and he said there wasn't enough money in the budget for us to cover to give you the money that you need for your expenses. So I was like, okay. So out of nowhere, that same person that told me that there was no money in the budget calls me back, and he said, God has provided money for you for the whole year. The whole year, not next month, not an hour, like the whole year. So I gladly accepted that, and I was just like, yes, like I jumped up. It's like, this is crazy. And I told my other job that they just finished praying with me. I just got hired full time. And they were praising the Lord with me because they were like, we just prayed. Like, this is crazy. And I was like, I know. So I wanted to encourage you, if you lost your job right now, which is a lot of the majority of American people right now do not have a job, look up to the heavens. You don't even have to say much, but God is a providing God. He will make a way for you and your family. And I do pray that during this time you lack nothing, that you will lack nothing. I pray that this blesses you and encourages you. And share this video for someone that needs to be encouraged, that just recently lost their job and they don't believe that God can make a way for them. Let this be a testimony for them to hear that God can make a way. God bless you guys.